بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
Assalamu alaikum. Today it is Thursday, 26th of May 2022, and in our series Reflections on the Holy Quran, this is broadcast number 318. And these days we are discussing the meaning of Surah Al-Baqarah, chapter 2, verse 101 of the Holy Quran. And this is the sixth broadcast in looking at the meanings of that word. These broadcasts are brought to you courtesy of LAISA, Lahore Ahmadiyya School for Education in Islam, which is a part of Ahmadiyya Anjuman. Just to remind you that the Ahmadiyya movement was established by Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Sahib Rahmatullah Alayh, who taught us that although other Muslims believe that after the Holy Prophet Muhammad, prophethood continues, this is incorrect, because the Holy Quran says that the Holy Prophet Muhammad is Khatamun Nabiyyin. And the Holy Prophet explained that this means La Nabiyya Ba'di. There is no prophet after me. So this is no prophet. So that means neither an old prophet nor a new prophet may come. Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Sahib claimed that he had appeared in accordance, he had appeared as a mujaddid in accordance with the hadith of the Holy Prophet, which said that God will raise reformers. He further explained that his distinction was that there were other ahadiths that referred to a Messiah and Mahdi who shall appear amongst the Muslims. And he said that those titles applied to him because of the duties that God had entrusted him with. He further explained that Muslims shouldn't be hasty in calling each other kafirs. Why? Because the Holy Prophet had said that if one reciter of the kalima says to another reciter of the kalima, you are a kafir, you are a heretic, then it is the person saying it. Then it is the person saying it who is the kafir, who is the heretic. And Hazrat Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad's teaching was that some people believe some revelation that came to the Holy Prophet Muhammad is not in the Holy Quran. It's missing from the Holy Quran. Other revelation which is in the Holy Quran has been cancelled or abrogated. Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad taught us that this is completely wrong, because God says in the Holy Quran that He is revealing it and He shall protect it. He is revealing it and He shall protect it. So if the Holy Quran has God's protection, how can it be that some revelation that came to the Holy Prophet Muhammad was left out of it? Or some revelation that is in the Holy Quran is actually cancelled. The Holy Quran is a book of guidance. What is the point of having in it God's commands which have been cancelled, which have been abrogated? And how would we know which those commands are? So I urge my brothers and sisters to think upon this. These are serious matters. Non-Muslims take these matters and they confront Muslims, and Muslims have no answer. Muslims have no answer. Because their beliefs are not in line with the Quran and the Hadith and Sunnah. But anyway, let us turn to today's topic, which, as I said, is verse 101 of the Holy Quran. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولما جاءهم رسول من عند الله مصدق لما معهم نبذ فريق من الذين أوتوا كتاب الله وراء ظهورهم كأنهم لا يعلمون. And when there came to them a messenger from Allah verifying that which they have, a party of those who were given the book through the book of Allah behind their backs, as if they knew nothing. I was hoping that today we'll finish this verse of the Holy Quran, but it's not to be. Apologies, my throat's getting dry. We will look at the word zuhur today. I prefer to take it easy rather than rush things, as you might have noticed. So let me now find my notes. Where are they? Here. Oh no, that's not my notes. Panic, panic, panic. Oh, no, no need panic. I found them. Right. The root is Ra, Ha, Ra. And these three letters are combined to make 10 different words in the Holy Quran. And in total, these words appear in the Holy Quran 59 times. 15 times as Zahr, the word Zahr, and 10 times as the word Zahara, and 8 times as the word Azhara, and 8 times again as Zahir. And then, where are we? 6 times as Zaharu, and again 6 times as Zahir. And what do they mean? Means to support, to appear, to become manifest, to support, to back, to make apparent, to reveal, and so on. And it also means the back, like your back. And interestingly, those of you, well, all of us who are Muslims would know that it also means noon, midday. And it's mentioned as such in the Holy Quran. Bahina tada'una thiyabakum minal zahirati wa min ba'di salatil isha. So we can see that it refers to Salat, and it refers to Zohar, noon, and it refers to Isha. Let me now get my notes in order. Where are we? Here we are. As I said, Az-Zahru, one meaning is the back. Like in English, they say, put your back in it. The Holy Quran in chapter 84, verse 10 says, وَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ كِتَابَهُ وَرَاءَ ظَهْرِهِ. And the book of their deeds will be presented from their backs. Min zuhurihim zurriyatahum. Chapter 7, verse 172. And their progeny produced from their backs. Anqada Zahrak. Chapter 94, verse 3. And what had broken your back, or bent your back. So the point is that this burden that the Holy Quran talks about, it can be physical burden, like, you pick up a bag of rice or flour or whatever, but it can also be kind of metaphorical burden. For example, in English, we have an expression: the burden of responsibility is too much for him. Now, this is not like the burden of a sack of flour and so on. This is burden being used in a metaphorical sense. But it also means what you can see on earth. Zahrul Ard. What's on top of the earth? And the opposite of that is, of course, Batn al-Ard. And that is what's inside. And if you know Urdu, you will know Zahir and Batin. There's an expression, uska Zahir aur hai, uska Batin aur. That means that what you see, this person, what you see is different to what is inside him, what he's really like. So, and Zihriyun is used for everything that we sort of put to one side, that we put behind us, and we forget. Warwa'akum Zihriya, chapter 11, verse 92. Put behind your back. And this is what happens, things that are in front of you, things that you think are important. Like I had to send someone a scan from a book. He'd asked for some information. So I put the book right in front of me here, so that when I come up into my office in the morning, the first thing is I see that book. Now I ask myself, why is this book here? Oh yes, I remember. I have to send XYZ a photocopy from this book. And putting things behind you is an expression in English which means forget it, move on. It also means help each other, support each other. Wazaharu ala ikhrajikum, chapter 60, verse 9. And they helped each other in expelling you. So, and again, chapter 33, verse 26, Allazina zaharuhum. And this refers to the people of the book, those who supported them. But the zaharuna alayhim bil ismi wal udwan, chapter 2, verse 85. And by exceeding the limits, by sinning, by doing things that can't be justified, you do all these things to support each other. See, we read these things and move on, but just think about this. Isn't this what happens in Muslim majority countries? Then we have the word az-zahir from the same root, helper, supporter. وَمَا لَهُ مِنْهُمْ مِنْ ظَهِيرٍ, chapter 34, verse 22. And among them, there isn't any who will help Allah. فَلَا تَكُونَنَّ ظَهِيرًا لِلْكَافِرِينَ. Chapter 28, verse 86. Do not help support the disbelievers. وَالْمَلَائِكَةُ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ ظَهِيرٌ. Chapter 66, verse 4. And in addition, or apart from them, angels also help them. Now, there is a particular expression based on this word, az-ziharu. And in those days, there was a trick, a tradition, and that was that when men wanted to create problems for their wives, in that the marital relations had broken down, but the man didn't want to keep the woman as his wife, but to create problems for her. He didn't want to release her either. Then they would use this expression: you are to me as my mother's back. Zahara minim ra'ati. And that is, he did zahar from his wife. So that meant that she was neither married nor divorced. She was stuck. She was in the middle. And this injustice to women has been a feature of all societies from times immemorial. It continues today. I mean, we live in the West. We think West is very advanced and this and that and so on. But if you look into their family lives, some people, you'll find that, the women are in a terrible state. And this was one tactic that they used at that time. In fact, the interesting thing is that this tactic was quite common, because generally in the West, let's talk about UK, if a woman wanted to leave her husband, she had to find some fault in him. He's a womanizer, he beats me, whatever. And initially, the standard was very high, standard of proof, In fact, initially there was only one ground upon which you could ask for divorce, and that was that, either party had committed adultery. So, private detectives had a great time. They would follow, the husband or the wife, whoever it was. And if they couldn't uncover anything, then people could be hired. A woman could be hired to follow the husband when he goes in somewhere, follow him in and try and entice him, etc. And then there'll be someone else taking photographs to try and prove some sort of an illicit relationship between the two. And then the law made it easier and easier. And now, recently the law was amended, so it's more or less like Islamic law. I always quote the example of Hazrat Zainab. She went to the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Hazrat Zainab Razillah Ta'ala, she said, I don't find any fault in Zaid, but I don't want to be his wife. Simple. And law in UK has been changed to reflect that. You don't have to prove any kind of fault. All you have to say is, well, I'm very sorry, but I don't want to be his wife anymore, or I don't want to be her husband anymore, and that's it. Generally, it was men who would dangle women from, this rope, this noose they would have around the women's necks, etc. And as I said, if there was a custom that was prevalent, then Islam would directly address that. Like this one, that you say this is wrong. Either keep them as wives or let them go. There's no in-between state. Or alternatively, it would make arrangements so that, the affected parties were got all their rights, and gradually, whatever the thing was, like slavery, would disappear and get abolished. And the third thing was to set down principles which can be applied at different times to reform whatever the problem is at that time. So, in chapter 30, verse 7, the Holy Quran says, Ya'lamuna zahi min al-hayat dunya. Chapter 30, verse 7, they only know the life of this world which can be seen. That is to say, they have no idea of the hereafter or what is to happen in the next life. So here you have Zahir and Batin. But it's also used in the sense of overcoming, overpowering. Ya Qawmi lakumul mulkul yawma zahirina fil ard. Chapter 40, verse 29. O people, today you are the rulers, and you prevail in the country. And of course, the last thing I mentioned earlier, Salatul Zuhr, that is the prayer at Zohar time, at midday. And if you look at chapter 30, verse 18, وَلَهُ الْحَمْدُ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَعَشِيًّا وَحِينَ تُظْهِرُونَ. And he is glorified on the earth and in the heavens. And at Zohar time, and mid-afternoon and Zohar time, and so on. So here it talks of the time of Zohar, the midday, in times of prayer and so on. That is it for today, I think. And with the prayer that whoever you are and wherever you may be, may Allah keep the whole humanity, regardless of their color, creed, nationality, language, religion, sect. May Allah keep everyone in His protection, save them from harm and difficulty and pain. With that, I take my leave of you. Assalamu alaikum, Khuda Hafiz, and goodbye.